Welcome to Pydle Day 86. Pydle is a daily puzzle you need to solve by writing Python code using the Pydle function to set the pixels on a picture. So today's Pydle is a ladybug, so you need to write your Python code to recreate that on the left. Have a go at solving that. If you're new to Pydle or you're fairly new, you haven't played it much, then I will now solve yesterday's Pydle, which was a duck. I did make a video yesterday, but TikTok, it's still under review. I don't know why. Maybe something about the duck triggered some content checks. Okay, so I normally like to look for patterns and look for elegant solutions. I couldn't really see anything with the duck, so I'm just gonna create it row by row. So we're going to define three variables for our colors. Say yellow. So create a tuple and then deconstruct that into the yellow, white, and orange variables. And orange. Okay, and then I'm just going to have a single loop for x in range 5. And then I'm just going to go row by row. I'm starting from the bottom because it's simpler. Pydle x, 4. No character, and then I'm going to say orange if x equals 1, else white. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay. I'm going to copy that. The next two are also quite simple. Okay, so that's 3 and 2. So those would be yellow if x less than 3. Two of those. We could have done that a little bit smarter, but okay, we're slowly building up the duck from the bottom. Okay, so the next one, we need 3 colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to define a list. Okay, so a list of the colors. Say yellow plus white plus two yellows plus orange, and then I'm going to take the index of x. Okay, so there's just a little inline list. Let's see if that worked. Okay, slowly building up the duck. And then we can do the same for the top row. Okay, so just inline list. That's row 0. And then here we need white times 2. Yellow times 2 plus white. So another inline list. It's kind of just the code for the colors. Okay, and now we need to do something clever, something not clever, but something with the eye of the duck, which eye is a small black small square emoji, which kind of is part of the emoji standard. So that if x equals 3, else rank. Okay, and that should solve the Pydle. Okay, and that matches the Pydle, and that solves our Pydle for today. Drop me a comment if, how you're finding these solutions. Is it too easy, too hard? As a bonus, somebody on YouTube added a comment that you can basically solve all Pydles in a very simple way by defining a function. So I'm just going to paste in the bonus solution here. That is 9 lines, so it's kind of getting to almost the 10 line limit. So what have we got here? So basically we're defining a function that takes in the row number, the y, and then a list of all the characters for that row and a list of all the colors. And then it zips those two lists and it creates another sequence of the x values, and then it just does Pydle x, y, l, c. So it iterates through the lists, but it creates a new list of tuples for using the zip function. And then we can just call that function for every row. So function is the characters is 3 blanks, and then the small black square emoji, and then a blank. And then we're using the walrus operator to define the variables for white, yellow, then orange, just as shortcuts. And then that's the whole Pydle. You can run that and you see that's the duck again. So let me know what you think of this solution. In general, if you want to enjoy Pydle, I would recommend you kind of look for patterns and kind of elegant ways to solve that. But a Pydle like today, the duck, is fairly random. So sometimes we just need a solution like this. Okay. Have a go at solving today's Pydle, the ladybug, and I will see you tomorrow with a solution.